Cynthia Moss, thank you so much for joining us on Living One and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's very nice to be here with you.
I wanted to start off by asking you how important understanding elephants as individuals has been in the work that you've been doing over so many years.
Well, I think it's more or less everything. That is the whole purpose of our study was to look at to follow individuals, individually known animals, and to look at everything about elephants from the point of view of the individual. Although we do general ecology as well, but in terms of the other work that we do in behavior and social organization, it's all based on individuals and individually known animals. We've now had over 4,000 elephants go through the project, and all of which are known and recorded. And we can't we per, right now we have about 2,000 elephants in the population.
And are there any particular individuals that stand out for you? I know from your book that an elephant named Tanya made a particular connection with you at one stage. But if you could just offer a couple of examples of individual personalities you've known who've touched you particularly.
Well, I did a whole series of films for the BBC on one family, the EB family. And that was led by a wonderful matriarch named Echo. And she's probably the elephant I know best of all the elephants because I spent so much time with her. And she was the matriarch. She died in 2009, but she was an old girl at that point. But still, she was very special, very calm, very competent, very a wonderful leader in her. We do see personality in elephants very strongly, and we've written two papers on it. Actually, a paper that in the Journal of Psychology that on female personality, and we're now actually about to publish a paper on male personality. So we have seen it we actually look at elephants from that point of view as well.
So are there particularly different traits then that are demonstrated by females rather than males, or vice versa?
Oh, yes, they definitely are very different, very different lives. The elephant females live in families. Each family consists of related adult females and their offspring, and the females are related by either mother, daughter, grandmother, granddaughter, aunt, niece, cousins, sisters, and they're very strongly bonded to each other. And but even within those families, we see differences. We see differences in personality. And for instance, when Echo was definitely there was no question she was the matriarch. Usually it's the oldest female who's the matriarch because she has the wisdom, and the other elephants in the family turn to her when maybe the old matriarch dies. They turn to the next oldest because that's where their leadership comes from that older female who has had the experience. But it was very interesting when we did personality traits on this family because we knew it so well. And there was Echo's daughter Enid was only 28 when she died, and Echo was in her 60s. And there was another female who was much older, a female named Eudora. But Eudora was always a bit just not. She was a lovely elephant, is still a lovely elephant, but didn't seem to have the characteristics of a leader. She was kind of, flighty or something. And it's so interesting because this almost always it's the oldest female who takes over, but it's not in this case. Enid is now is now the matriarch of that, Echo's daughter, Enid, because she just had that leadership quality. They would other elephants would do what she suggested they do, and elephants make suggestions as to where they're going to go and when they're going to go for water or when they're going to stop and have a rest. And it's Enid they follow now. So that's an unusual event, but it just shows what personality can do in elephant society.
I wonder if that's a sort of strain for her, or if being a younger elephant, or if there's a sense that that's just the role she was born for. Is that how it
Oh,
seems?
no, she takes on the role with, I think easily. I think she just is the leader, and there's no question. And I don't think she has a question in her mind either. She's the one.
And I was wondering also if you have experienced elephants who've suffered trauma. I mean, it's almost inevitable, I suppose, in the current world. But
Yes.
has that been part of your study too?
Oh, God, goodness, yes. I mean, in that drought that killed Echo, 400 elephants, over 400 elephants died. And it was a horrible, horrible drought, the worst we've ever had. And that one family, one family, the BB family, lost 7 adult females. I mean, the trauma in that family must have been huge. But, they're resilient. They are resilient. And, given a peaceful ecosystem to live in, then they can recover. But, we've had poaching in the past and a lot of human elephant conflict in the past with a lot of spearing of elephants. Um, and they are traumatized, but they also can recover, definitely can recover. I mean, right now we're in a good period, and and the elephants are very relaxed. They're doing well. There's a baby boom going on. We've had 170 babies born this year. And I just got word last night that a new set of twins was born yesterday. So we're very excited about that. You're the first person outside the project to know that.
Oh, oh, what a privilege. And I didn't even know elephants had twins.
It's quite rare. It's very rare, but we've had several. None, only one set has ever survived till adulthood. We've had 5. This is the 5th set now. This is over 50 years, so that you can see that's very,
Yeah.
very rare. And the first set that was born in 1980, they both did live in. They all got to um, you know, to adulthood. And in fact, the female had several calves. She died, we think, of birth complication, but she was already fairly, in her 30s or something when she died. But the other sets, they suffered. It was all because of the droughts. They didn't
Mhm.
make it. But anyway, we're hoping for the best for this set. It's a
It's
male and
just
female.
so are they? It sounds as if they're usually fraternal twins rather than
Yes, I think
siblings.
so. We've only had one set where out of the 5, 4 were male and female, and then one set was 2 males. So they could have been, I suppose, identical, but we don't know. And they died. So
Oh, oh,
yeah, no, very
it
sad.
must be hard when your project does involve this individual knowledge and sense of personality. You can't have that kind of, rigid scientific detachment.
Oh,
There must
no.
be connection.
Yeah, no, it can be very, very painful. Yeah, very painful to lose them.
And I suppose that times changing with climate change and also with growing populations of humans and
Yes,
greater development within nations, which one has to hope care about the human populations, obviously, but
yes.
it must make it harder and harder for the elephants.
It is. The the Amboseli elephants are lucky in that they share their range with the Maasai people who don't hunt them for trophies or meat, and have been relatively tolerant of them. They do. And they're in the park is tiny. It's only 390 square kilometers, but the ecosystem over which they range is 5,000 square kilometers. So in the park on any given day, there's probably not going to be more than 400 elephants. So that means 1,600 elephants are out on Maasai land, and they do tolerate them. I mean, there's bad things happen. People get killed from once in a while. But and elephants used to get speared a lot, but we managed to keep that down to a minimum now. And then in other areas of the ecosystem, people started planting crops. Now the Maasai are pastoralists, and you can live with pastoralists, but farmers can't live with elephants. And that's been a big problem with the conflict over the people with farms do not tolerate elephants. So another foundation called the Big Life Foundation has built a 100-kilometer fence to basically keep the crops inside and the elephants outside. And the
Right.
elephants, of course, being very, very smart, some of them have learned how to get the fence down without getting zapped. So we have a project going right now, a very, very good scientist named Dr. Lydia Tiller, and she runs what we call human elephant coexistence project. We don't call it conflict anymore. We try to call it coexistence. And she's been doing work on the fence, on who's who and how they learn, and how they learn to knock the fence down, who they learn from, which elephants are the ones. And it's so far it's been very interesting. She's testing out all these deterrents. So we're excited about her project.
That does sound fascinating. And finally, I know your time is precious.
That's okay.
So I just wanted to ask you, how has studying elephants changed you? How do you think that has influenced the way that you look at the world of animals, the ecosystem, the environment? How has it changed you as a person in your values and in your way of being?
But I think being around elephants makes you a much more tolerant person than you might be otherwise. They are ultimately probably one of the most cooperative species. It's cooperation means everything to a family of elephants, to the females of their calves. And you see this every day, the cooperation, the um, the affiliation, how they continue to create and strengthen the bonds between the individuals. So I think that's taught me something about how to get on in the world, through not through any kind of competition and aggression, but rather through cooperation.
Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing that information about the twins.
Yes, yes.
Will you be looking for names with a particular letter?
Oh, and if you could think of any famous, twin planets or moons or people or anything with O. I mean, that's not an easy
Oh
letter, but
gosh.
the O family.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yes.
Cynthia
Yes.
Moss, thank you so much for being with us. And we wish you all the best and all blessings to you in the wonderful work and to the wonderful elephants. And can I say, particularly to the double O babies that you've just told us about?
Can you what?
And to the double O
Oh,
babies you've
yes,
just told
yes.
us
Very
about.
exciting. Very exciting. Yeah, you are the first person to hear this news.
I, I, That does make me feel like I have this very special place in the world to
Yes,
know
you
their
do, because I only
news.
got the news last night. It was only last night. I haven't done anything with the news yet. So
Will you be meeting them?
yeah, I'm going down next week. I can't wait to
Oh,
see. Yeah. I'll probably put a picture on Facebook today of in our the Abaselli Trust for Elephants page. So we'll have a look at that. Because Nora sent me photos of them last night.
how absolutely wonderful and how exciting. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Okay,
And as I said, all strength to you in the work that
thank
you're
you.
doing.
Send
Thank
my regards to Gay.
I will do. I will
Okay,
do.
okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Cynthia.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.